All right, back live tonight here on In Focus. The High Court in Johannesburg has dismissed an application by two companies who were contracted to put up the Beitbridge border fence during the height of the coronavirus pandemic. Caledon River Properties and Profteam had their profits taken away following a probe by the Special Investigating Unit. SIU spokesperson Kaizer Kganyago joins us now for more on that. What were your key... Good evening, by the way, and thank you very much for your time. What was the key argument that you were bringing to the court on these two companies?
Thank you very much, Thabo, and thank you to your listeners and viewers. People will remember that we did the investigation in 2020, and we found that that fence that they directed was not, the contract was not entered into in a manner that was right. And then we took this matter to the special tribunal. We put our arguments there. They themselves at the time agreed that there were some discrepancies. And once they agreed to that, we said, okay, that is the case, and the contract was then put aside or set aside.
Yeah.
But they then still said, okay, but we still want to keep all the money. And we said, no, but you cannot keep the money that you got in an unlawful manner.
Okay.
That is when they decided to take us to the High Court and claim that the decision of the special tribunal was wrong, and that is where we are now.
So we got reports, for example, that the fence cost the department 40.4 million rands, which consisted of 37.1 million payment to the contractor and 3.25 million to the professional agent, and was overpriced at that point by 14 million. So when you're talking profit, what exactly are you talking about?
At the moment, we have not determined the exact profit because the ruling of the special tribunal at the time indicated that we need to have the books so that we look at the expenditure and the income. And once we do that, that is the first part that we need to do. Sorry. The second part that we needed to do was to then, as the SIU and the department, come up with experts who will then look into the expenditure that they might have incurred, because they might inflate the expenditure so that they take all the money. And once the experts have determined how much was the actual expenditure, whatever remains becomes profit. And that will determine how much they have to bring back to us.
So at this particular point, I mean, we are told also that there are 13 officials possibly that could be implicated in this particular tender. Do you have any information as to whether they were paid in any way, or whether there's a trace of money going to them? Because I believe that's by and large what you would also be wanting to follow, except for the fact that the contract would have been entered too irregularly.
We have already put some referrals to the department in relation to the involvement of officials. Those officials were disciplined, some of them resigned and so on. But for us, it doesn't matter, Thabo. What we are going to get back is all the money that is your profit. Whether you have given them the money or not, it is your loss. The loss will be with you, because we want all of this money from you, from the two companies which are involved in this particular contract. But if there's been transactions that were given between them and we continue to find that, then those have become a criminal matter that then goes to the police.
So where are the matters now? Where do matters stand as we speak now? Are you in a position where you have frozen assets worth 40 million so far while you're determining the true value of what could have been spent? Are bank accounts frozen? Where exactly are we with the matter?
Yes, at the time we had froze the bank accounts of these companies with the money that was in the account at the time. Therefore, we then said, okay, we would have finished this process if they had not taken us to court, because this matter was heard, I think, in March of last year. and the order was made at that time. Therefore, the court had given us, or the tribunal had given us 30 days to finalize these matters at the time. Therefore, we would have taken the money by now and we'll be fine. But because they took us to court, then it took longer. That is why it's now December, and the judgment has only come out now. And we are now being given again by the High Court 30 days for 30 days for the service providers to give us their books, and then 30 days for the thereafter, which basically makes it 60 days for the expert to look into the books, and then after that, 30 days for these contractors to pay the money to the Department of Public Works.
Yeah. So, I mean, the initial ruling would have been, I don't know, last year sometime. It was appealed in May, and it was dismissed with costs in September, and I suppose was appealed again. And here we are again with the courts saying it's certainly still, I suppose, in your favor. Do you expect that the two companies will appeal this particular ruling again?
You will never know, because they've got deep pockets, because like in this particular instance, the matter was dismissed with cost, which means they have to pay for our lawyers in this matter. If they feel they've got further deep pockets, they can take it further and then take it to the SCA and so on and so on. But we remain resolute that we are in the right track, because we believe that nobody must benefit from an unlawful contract.
Kaizer Kganyago, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on. SIU spokesperson there, Kaizer Kganyago.